It's good to welcome Larisa Santiago to the podcast. She's a musician based in, I'm guessing, Toronto, Canada.
Yeah, yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
it's good to welcome you to the show. How have you been?
Good. I've been good. It's been busy. I've been working on music and projects, so it's been good. Yeah, and I
Awesome.
can't wait for summer because it's cold in here.
Yeah, I can imagine. I used to live in Canada for 4 years, and I know what the winter looks like.
Yeah, we started to have glimpses of spring, but it was like, "Hi, the sun is here. Goodbye now."
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that
It's
that
back and
happens.
forth.
That
Yeah.
happens. Yeah.
Are you originally from Hungary?
No, I'm from Hanoi, Vietnam.
Oh, okay. And like, what made you move there?
For school mostly, and also to relocate for the long term. That's the plan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
thank you. Um, I hope everything succeeds. Paperwork can be tricky.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah. And do you like it there?
So far, so good.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I'm guessing you have the same experience too, because you were not originally from Canada.
Yeah, yeah, I'm originally from Brazil. So, what happened is that I came to Canada as a student back in 2011. I came here like I wanted to do like an exchange program, so to speak. So I came during high school because like in Brazil, there's this thing that like people go on exchange programs around like when they are like ranging from like 15 to 17. I was, I believe, 17 at the time. And then I was like, oh, I want to improve my English. I want to, continue studying because I've been learning English since I was like 7 years old. So I was like, I need to glue my English because when you learn it in a different country, and I was just like taking classes, it wasn't like a regular thing, so to speak. So then I came to Canada and I'm like, oh, I like it here. And I did my grade 11, 12 in BC. I've never been to Canada before, and I was like, okay, BC, sure, we'll go there.
Mhm.
So yeah, I did my last 2 years of high school there, and then I really liked it here. And then I was like, okay, so how can I stay in the country? Then I applied for university. I went to U of T, and I did nothing related to music. It was like international relations.
Mhm.
And then like one thing led to the other, and like music has always been my passion. So I was always like, how can I go back to it? Because sometimes like life throws you like some curveballs and sometimes, like things like take back that like for just get my life. And yeah.
I think. Yeah. I think we lost each other for a little bit. So okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. So, yeah, I think I lost you when you said that you were going to U of T and then you studied
Oh, okay.
international relations.
Yeah, so it was nothing music related. Yeah, I went to FT, and it was funny because in high school I took Spanish. I really love languages, so I speak Portuguese, English, Spanish, Italian, and a little bit of French. So that kind of like propelled me to like, oh, let's do international relations because that could be cool. That could be a thing as well. I do because moving to Canada, meeting so many cultures in Canada, my background in languages and whatnot. So that's why I ended up choosing international relations. But then, like, I felt like, oh, music is missing. Like this is what I love, And like and circling back to you like talking about like paperwork and whatnot, like music for me ended up taking a little bit of the backseat of my life because as an immigrant, you have to fulfill certain criterias, right? Like from the government and like figuring things out. So yeah, my degree ended up coming in handy when it came to that. Yeah.
Yeah. So what's your residency status now?
I'm a citizen. I am a
That's good.
full-on a citizen of Canada. I got my passport last year, I think. Yeah, but it was a long, long journey. It was
Uh-huh.
a long, yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, I finally got it. I was like, wow. It felt like a chapter of my life has closed because it can be very stressful when you're like a student. Oh, you have to renew visas. Then like PR, oh, you have to renew the card. Like there's always something like that you have to keep
Yeah,
doing, right? And then like as like I don't know, with your passport, you can just like renew in a 10 years time, but like you already have everything, so it's just
yeah, I
easy
know.
up to do, yeah.
Yeah, I recently had to renew my passport too, in order to pursue further residence here.
Yeah. Are you a resident there now?
I have a student visa, but I'm applying for, residency permit after I graduate.
Mm. Oh my gosh, good luck. And what are you studying?
American Studies.
Oh, okay, like politics, right? More.
It's pretty comprehensive. There's classes in politics and culture and literature and
Mm,
history.
mm-hmm.
So
Interesting.
I'm focusing on history at the moment.
Do you like your program?
Yeah, so far so good.
Oh,
It's
cool.
I actually did 1 year in international studies back when I lived in Vienna, but I didn't like the program that much,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't like the people either. So it was an all-around miserable experience.
I'm glad you pivoted. That's good.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it was necessary. Otherwise, I would just be depressed all day.
Yeah, there's no point being, if you don't like something, don't do it.
I know, right? And yeah, there were a bunch of people that didn't want me there either, so I had no
Oh,
choice.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's in the review mirror, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. So, what makes you choose Canada as your, I guess, citizenship destination?
Well, I like it here. Like I feel like there's a lot of like the opportunities are more present, I'd say. It's safer. Like it's definitely safer than Brazil. So, to me that was like a factor, like I can go out and come back home at like 1 a.m. and not like just be fine, like not have to be highly alert. I mean, I'm always alert because you have to be alert of your surroundings. But like it's safer, and I don't know. I don't know. I fell in love with Canada. It was like despite of the weather, because the weather is brutal. Oh my gosh, like to me, like every winter, I'm just like, why am I here? And then like spring comes and summer comes and I'm like, oh my God, I'm here. Like I love it here. It's interesting. But like I don't know. I just find like I don't know, in comparison to Brazil, I'd say it's like easier to I don't know, talk to people. Like, like people here are very open and I don't know, you could message us like a stranger on LinkedIn, let's say, be like, "Hey, like that's so cool that you work and do this XYZ. Like, would you like to go for a coffee?" And, people are like, "Yeah, like sure." Like, it's just like more open, I find. And like so in this way it's just like easier to do things. I don't know if that makes sense. Like
Yeah, yeah,
if you
I get it. Yeah, I get it. So, how do you prepare for winter?
Oh my gosh. I mean, I don't. I should, but I don't. It's like it's hard. Like like I think like preparing for winter is more of like a mental thing because like the sun disappears and then you're just like, home and there's a lot of snow and it's cold and gray. But I guess it's just like doing things that keeps your like mental health in check, like eat good foods, like work out, like be surrounded by people. And sometimes like even like go outside, even though like the weather is not the best, but like it's good to get like some fresh air as well. And also know that it's temporary, that it's gonna end. That, that makes me a little here, like knowing like, okay, it's just a season and spring is just around the corner. And when it comes like February, March, you already know that it's about to be spring and like you're further to summer, you're closer
Mhm,
to summer. So yeah.
of course. Yeah. Yeah, I think for me the worst obstacle is the dry skin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Moisturize.
don't. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I should do that too. So, tell me about growing up in Brazil.
I'm an only child. Yeah, I'm an only child. I was actually a premature baby. Like I was how do you say that? Like I'm a 6 month baby born type of thing. So like my coming to life was challenging for my parents, and to me, but like I don't really remember I don't really remember as a baby, but like I stayed for a little bit, not for a little bit, like for a while at the hospital. And it was just like a very risky like pregnancy for my mom and me being born. Yeah, so I was raised in Belo Horizonte, Minas Gerais, which is it's a city surrounded like by mountains. It's very pretty. I miss it there. And there's like no beaches, no nothing. It's like very there's like lakes, but no because like people when they think of Brazil, there's like, oh yeah, beaches and like sun, like all of that, but like warmish, but cooler than like Rio, for example. And surrounded by mountains. So I was like born there. My parents are from Rio, so I used to go to Rio a lot, and I still do because my parents now live there. But yeah, like my upbringing was very like musical in a way. I used to do like the school choir. I used to take dance lessons. My parents still do like listen to a lot of music. It was very like I was always doing something and like involved with like music or the arts. When I was like 15, I ended up going to an Italian immersion school. That's why I speak Italian. Um, I wanted to like learn something different, and it was very cool because like my parents were very supportive. Like my parents have always been so supportive towards me, which I'm very thankful and grateful for that. And yeah, so it was a very interesting experience because I got to meet like people from all over the world, like in from Europe, like Italians, and I had to learn Italian in like within 3 months in order to go to school. So it was like the challenge that I took. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna learn like this language that I've never really studied, and I did Italian immersion at the school to learn Italian, and then I studied there for like I think like 3 years for until like I moved to Canada because I was like, oh, I want bless you. I want to learn English and whatnot. So yeah, like I've had like a great upbringing, supportive parents, and I've always like been able to explore like my interests as well. So like when I was in the Italian school, that's when I really like found out like, oh, I can sing. Like I love music. It was actually funny because I found out that I could actually sing like through watching High School Musical. I think it was like every kid's like obsession at some point. I was so obsessed with it. Like I think I've watched that like 60 times, no kidding. And I was like doing like the sing-along version. I was just like, yeah, just like in my room, just like, listening to it and whatnot, like having fun. And I was like, oh, I can sing, okay. And then I found out that there was like a singer at my school, at my Italian school, and I was like, oh my gosh, okay. So then like we ended up becoming friends, and then I started asking her a bunch of questions because I'm like, oh my God, music, music, music. Like, and then I'm like, oh, where do you go? Do you vocal lessons? Who's your coach? Like, all of the questions that I was like, how do I get close to music and how do I get to do this? So then like I ended up going to her coach. I ended up like taking at the time like guitar lessons, did some ear training lessons too as well. And then I moved to Canada and then I kind of like lost touch with like music in a way because I felt like high school was so like at least where I went was like very like competitive and people were just like always like doing extracurriculars and like I had to do extracurriculars and like doing like activities like I had to do like a sport after school. Like I've never been like a sports girl so to speak. So I was just like, oh wow, okay. So I had to do like all of that. And then I wasn't able to like really like focus a lot in music, even though like I was doing like vocal jazz ensemble and whatnot. So as I said, like life threw me a little bit of like some curveballs, like figuring out like a new country and also like absorbing English and whatnot. And then from there, like university here. And yeah, then like I ended up like working jobs and whatnot. And right now I'm like focusing on music. I'm learning DJing right now as well, which is like so fun. And I am going to be self-producing as well. That's like my goal for this year. And I'm pursuing like the EDM rap, which is like the genre that I like with. And
Okay. Well, I wish you luck with all that. So yeah, it's quite
so
an
much.
amazing journey that you've gone through.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
So what music inspires you?
Oh my gosh. Well, I grew up listening to so many things, like to like uh Brazilian music like Nova, like MPB, like even like Brazilian funk music, like the ones that like really dance, like popping off now. But to me, like I just love electronic music. Like I remember like for the first time when like I listened to Avicii and I was just like, "Oh my gosh." Like it's such like an emotional journey but like uplifting. I don't know how to explain. Like the analogy that I was using yesterday that like to me electronic music it's like Formula One because it's like Formula One is so like intense, but like you have like that rush that you're like watching people, you're like, oh my gosh, like are they gonna win? Like there's like such like a climax and like a dynamic around it, like dynamics around it. And I don't know, it just really like it touches me. Like I'm very inspired by like Avicii, Martin Garrix, like Alan Walker. Like I don't know, I just I just love it. I just love like it's just like this music like brings me joy and it's like a different it's very like uplifting, it's like very yeah, but I love melodic music. Kygo also inspires me, and I know that Avicii inspires him. So I'm like everything like kind of goes back to Avicii in some sense with his like emotional music and like uplifting. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I remember, between I believe the years 2010 and 2015, that kind of electronic music was like the top of the charts. There were people like Skrillex and yeah, the Swedish House Mafia, I believe
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
they are there, and of course Avicii too. I think he seems to be the most well remembered because he passed away at a young age, and they renamed a stadium in I think in Stockholm after him. What was that song that you've of his that you first listened to?
Oh my gosh, it was Seek Bromance. I think that's the name the oh my gosh. I think that's the name of the song. Actually, let me look. I think that's what it's I think that's the song.
Yeah. Well, while you're looking, for me it was the song Levels. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was Bromance. It was Bromance.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
watching you. You've been hurting too. Na 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 na. Nothing left to show. Na 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 na. Mhm. I love the song.
Yeah. Yeah, for me it was the song Levels, which was released in 2011. I think it sampled that Etta James song.
Yeah. Oh,
And there's also that I Could Be the One with Nicky Romero.
Mhm.
And then of course he had that hit, right? The Wake Me Up song. And then there's the Monday Left Me Broken song. I cannot remember the title, but yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's quite unique.
It's it's and I don't know if you watched his documentary, but like, wow. It was like my heart. I was like, oh, it was very like his documentary was incredible.
Yeah. What's the name of it?
Ugh, Mia names. It's on Netflix. Avicii. I watched it like in December, documentary. I'm Tim.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I should watch it.
It's on Netflix and yeah, he was very incredible, like and touching, like seeing like it really showed like it's incredible because I feel like every it doesn't really like matter like the music genre, but like every musician is just so like sensitive and like introspective in a way, you know? Like it's a very like music is a very like emotional thing, and like it was very interesting just to see like him, you know, like in the documentary and like his perspectives and like how he did things and how he became a Avicii. Yeah.
So, do you see yourself as an sensitive, introspective person?
Yeah, yeah, I do. I do. I do, yeah. It was very interesting. Like I saw I think like a lot of like musicians and like producers can relate like when I watched the Avicii documentary, like I felt really like I related to him, you know, in regards to like the passion for music and like how you feel about music and yeah, like the I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's like just it's a like I just saw like a lot of me in him, like how he loves music and like how it makes him feel and like the passion, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Um, I know that EDM music is still around. I believe Alan Walker recently came here for a tour, but yeah, it may not have the same position that it as it did in the like early 2010s, but yeah, it's still around. And I think in particular in Europe, like I think the rave scene in European countries are quite huge.
Yeah, and also in Miami, like this weekend, I was like, oh, I wish I was there. They had like the Miami Music Week and like Ultra Music Festival, and the EDM Awards. So it's still like quite big, and I truthfully don't think like EDM will ever like subside to exist like as a genre, you know. It's like it really brings like people together. Like I feel like there's a sense of like community in the EDM scene, and it's just cool to see, you know.
All right. Yeah. I think for me, it's the beat is a bit too fast paced, and I'm not a big fan of crowds, so I never quite gravitated to that scene. Yeah,
No,
sorry.
I get that. Yeah, I get that.
So, how would you describe the Larissa Santiago sound?
Oh my gosh, so my sound, I am still developing my sound actually in terms of you know, I just it was like kind of like recent that I decided to just like pick one genre, you know, which is like the electronic genre that which I love. And I'm very inspired, like as I said, like by Avicii, Martin Garrix, Alan Walker, like Swedish House Mafia, like all the top 40 like EDM, you know, EDM producers. And I really like progressive house. I really like Kygo as well, like his music. And I think like for me, I would definitely like stay in this lane, like regarding like sound. I'm not like a huge fan of trends and like, you know, the like the faster paced stuff that I know that like techno and like trance like they're really like it's a genre, it's a subgenre that is like really coming up right now. But yeah, with my sound like I just want to like uplift people and like make them feel good, you know, like light them up. And yeah, so that's like, you know, like good vibes and that you can dance to and, you know, feel good about it. So that's what I'm aiming with my sound. I'm still developing it, but I'm very excited to see what's, you know, what I end up coming with.
All right. Yeah. So, one example of the Larissa Santiago sound is your new single. Is titled "Hold Me Down." And so, tell me more about that song.
So Hold Me Down, to me, it like to me like I see it like as a it's like I'm closing like a chapter in a way, and it's a song for me that is like a pep talk, you know, like sometimes it's very easy for I think for everybody to get into their own heads and like, you know, like you get to a certain point in life and then you're like, oh, like I should be happier that I'm here. And why am I not, you know, like and sometimes you're like, am I in my own head? Am I blocking myself? You know, like we go through like to me like those were all like internal questions and feelings. But at the same time it's like I'm not gonna stop. Like I want to make music, so I'm gonna make music. You know, like I'm gonna do this, so I'm gonna do this. So it's more like it's a reminder, like hold me down as a reminder for myself to like I can get into a funk, yeah, but I can get out of it. And I need to keep pushing and I need to keep going. So to me, like hold me down, it's more like a chapter closing, you know, and like it's more like and it's more of like my segue into EDM because it's more of like an EDM-y track, like kind of like the old Chainsmokers vibe type of thing. And it's like the segue into beginning of like an era for me. Yeah.
That's lovely. Yeah, I quite enjoy listening to the song.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
So, do you find anything in Brazilian dance music that you find interesting?
Sorry.
Brazilian dance music, like the dance music from your home country. Do you find anything interesting from that?
Oh yeah, no, like the artists are great and like it all and like Brazil has a huge EDM like community like Alok. I don't know how to pronounce his name in English actually. Alok is like massive and like his music is amazing and there's like other like DJs like Santi and I love his song with Michaela Harder. And like Michaela is also an amazing artist. She's from Canada, and she's done like collaborations with many Brazilian DJs, like Vintage Culture, Santi. Yeah, from what I can remember from the artists in Brazil, like the DJs, like the EDM scene is incredible, and I am also like inspired by them. Like it's really cool to see like Brazil on the map, in terms of EDM because it's more like when you look at it, it's more like oh North America and like Europe, you know, like the and then like to see like A-Lock being like one of the biggest DJs from Brazil, you know, it's very like inspiring. It's like wow, we have someone up there, you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I think you mentioned this before, but you're studying to be a DJ, right?
Yeah, I have my controller over here and I am practicing and yeah, my goal is to like incorporate DJing into my performances.
Hi. Glad to hear it, and I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So, what's the dance music scene in Toronto like?
It's here. Like there's like Toronto is very interesting music wise because like there's just so much in Toronto, but like it's very like scattered in a way. Like there's like different like pockets, you know, and like and but there are like up and coming DJs and like there's a scene like people do play at oh my gosh at clubs and there's a female DJ that I really admire. Her name is Marta and like she's absolutely killing it, you know, and so it's just very inspiring to see other women coming from the Toronto scene that they're like, you know, playing like Coda, you know, Rebel, and like seeing other up and coming DJs and producers. So there's definitely like a scene, you know. So it's really cool, and I personally can't wait to dive in into it, you know, when things are more settled for me.
Yeah. You did mention studying in British Columbia. So, which part of BC did you?
Victoria, Vancouver Island.
Okay. Yeah, I've only been to Vancouver, yeah, but I haven't been to Victoria. No.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Mhm.
It was quite the shock, quite the cultural shock because it's so like I was coming from Brazil, like my hometown. I think I don't know how many, what's the population now, but like let's say like at the time was like over 1 million, like like population wise, like as big as Toronto. And then I went to Victoria, which was like it's an island and it's like very small. So I was like, oh, okay. But it was really cool. It was a very cool experience. Like, I got to see like you know, to experience like, you know, a day in the life of like a local kid, you know. So seeing like a different perspective and like a different way of living. So it was cool and I actually got to like experience a lot of nature for the first time because you know, like I'm a city girl. So it's not that like I was actively like, okay, I'm gonna go to nature now, you know, like in Brazil. Like even though like my hometown had nature, but like I wasn't like actively like going to those places. But being in Victoria, being in an island, and like part of like school activities was they were like nature related. I went camping for the first. I went surfing for the first time. It really like threw me out of my comfort zone because I've never done anything like that. Like I've never gone camping before. Like it was like my first time. So it was very different. But it was great. Like I had a lovely time. I really cherish the moments and the memories that I made. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm sure the weather must have been better too.
Yeah, like in comparison to the entirety of Canada, it was better. It's like the warmest part of Canada, I believe. So but I did experience we did have like snow there. It does snow there. But I think it snowed like while I was there like twice because like yeah, I used to go back home for Christmas and whatnot, like because the school would close and so I wasn't there like peak so to speak, but Victoria does rain a lot, like BC as a whole, it's known for its rain. Yeah, it was like m mild weather in comparison to Toronto, but it was still like hard, because I come from the tropics. Like my winters, where I grew up, like I think the coldest would be like 8 degrees. Like it's still like very much positive. So then like coming to Canada to like zero or negative, and here in Toronto it's like, oh, -10. It was the difference, but we adjust, we do the things.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of what's necessary if you would like to move somewhere.
Yeah.
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 So would you be incorporating your multilinguistic talents into your music anytime soon?
I don't think like anytime soon, like I don't think at least like for the project that I'm envisioning for myself right now, but I think like at some point, yes. And especially like languages are very important. Like it comes in handy when like I'm talking to other people around the world, like other collaborators. If I have like someone like I don't know, let's say like Argentina and they don't speak English, like I can just talk to them in Spanish because I have, the language skill. So it comes in very handy. And I have seen like EDM songs in other languages as well. So I think that's something like further down the line that I might incorporate. But like for now, like my goal is like to focus on English and also like focusing on like collaborating with other artists, like local artists and like vocalists and yeah, and go from there.
All right. Yeah. You mentioned that you know a bit of French, so you might want to make a project of learning French because France is a pretty big dance music scene also.
Yeah, yeah. Learn I'd be interested in picking up learning French at some point. It was like the last language that I started learning and I started learning in university.
Hmm.
So then I was like, I'm gonna learn it later. It was like taking so much of my time. Because like it's very like French is very different in a way as well. Like the way you write and the way you speak is just so like different. It's not the same in comparison to like Portuguese. Well, Portuguese I grew up with it, so I didn't really have to learn it. But with like Spanish and Italian, like the way you write is the way you speak, basically. So yeah, but that's a good plan. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Of course, Canada is a bilingual language, but people mostly speak French in like Quebec or
Yeah.
certain parts of New Brunswick.
Yeah.
That yeah, I when I was living there, I thought that I thought that I would continue living there, so I just pursued learning French, but because well I didn't, then I just stopped. Yeah. Currently I'm studying Hungarian, which is a different beast.
Is it tough? Is it hard?
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, it gets less tough the more you study it, but for starters, it can be quite challenging.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And is your school like English or Hungarian? English.
The university itself, it's in English classes, but I learn the language in extracurricular classes.
Mhm. Okay, gotcha. Wow.
Mhm. So tell me about your goals this year. musical or otherwise?
Well, so my goals is just to keep honing my sound, work on on music projects and release it like or EDM, and also start performing as a DJ. I think that'll be really cool and incorporate singing as well while I DJ. Yeah, so that's the direction that I'm currently pursuing.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've heard that Montreal has a big dance,
Yeah.
right? So finally, what does music mean to you?
Oh my gosh. Me, honestly, everything. I don't know how to like music to me is like a form of self-expression and also like I'd say like a connection to myself. It's like when I feel like the most connect with myself. And yeah, like that's like actually a tough question because like I am music and music is me, you know. So it's like it's part of me. And it's something that like I love doing and like I get into like a state of flow doing it. And I feel like it's the highest for me, it's like one of the highest form of connections with like I don't know if you believe in like the divine or spirit or so to me like I feel like music is connection and like connection with like my spirit. Yeah. You're muted. Oh.
Okay, right, there you go. Yeah, I should say that, I'm a Christian, so music is a big part of church masses. Yeah, but that I think that's a wonderful note to end on. Thank you very much, Larissa, Santiago, for joining the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.